Welcome back to my channel. One of the things that I frequently obsess over are all the ways in which I can be more productive. I am a busy mom, hence that very juicy pile of unfolded laundry behind me, and I run multiple businesses, and I also try to have a personal life, even if it's just about catching that midday yoga class. Now, if this seems right up your alley, then stay with me. I'm going to be sharing all my productivity hacks for that busy online service professional. Now, if you are joining me here, I bet that you're like, productivity, I need more of this in my life. As an online service professional, there is nothing more beneficial than getting a grasp on your productivity. Now, I've got my yummy smoothie here, and this is actually my first productivity tip, and that is meal planning. And admittedly, I suck at meal planning. I don't have a fridge full of meals. Usually I am hustling to get dinner ready for the kids, and that is the honest truth. But when it comes to having breakfast, I, over the last year, have made it my ritual to start my day with a green smoothie, which includes fruits and vegetables and nuts and oatmeal and things that actually really make me feel good throughout the day, so that it doesn't get to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm feeling nauseous because I've literally had 800 coffees. I still drink a lot of coffee, but you know what I'm saying? At least start my day off with something that makes me feel energized and makes me feel good throughout the day. And another little byproduct of this is that my skin has gotten a lot better and I feel a lot better and I don't feel as gross by the end of the day, so I can be more productive. So make sure that you have an easy way of consuming breakfast. Like when I'm getting up in the morning, I'm not a 5 o'clock in the morning riser. I've got little kids. I got to get them ready for daycare and school. I've got to walk the dog. Sometimes it's really hot where I live. It's not so pleasant. So if I can at least have this as a measure to help me have a more productive day, then that's what I'm gonna do. So I wanted to share that with you as my first tip, because kind of overrated, but not, have a smoothie for breakfast. You can't taste the spinach. It's surprisingly sweet with the banana. So my next tip for being productive is time tracking. And time tracking is just basically keeping a tab on where you are spending your time so that you can evaluate A, how you're spending your time, but B, make better use of your time. So if you are a solopreneur and you're just getting started with your online service business, then you definitely want to make sure that you track time to really understand, how long things are taking you and what is the best use of your time. If you are a more advanced service support professional and you are building a team, it's even more important to make sure that you know where your team's time is best spent, where your time is best spent. It's really great for a company culture to have transparency, not from the angle of like what everybody's doing, but from the angle of like, how can we make our projects as productive as possible. So I really want to point this out because I know it's annoying to track your time. It feels maybe invasive at times to track time, but overall, it's a great productivity hack to make sure that you aren't multitasking and you are making sure that you are delegating, hopefully at some point, the things that maybe aren't the best use of your time. And that's really my next point, which is delegation. So when it comes to delegation, I want you to know that maybe you don't feel like you can delegate things right now off your plate because financially you're not where you need to be. But at some point down the road, as you grow as an online service professional, you will come to a point in your career where you have the bandwidth and the finances to take some things off of your plate, whether it be the scheduling of your social media, the onboarding or offboarding of your clients, the creation of content for your business, whatever that looks like for you. I promise at some point you will be able to delegate. Now, maybe you're already at a point in your business where you can afford to bring somebody on, even if it's just temporary. Time tracking is going to help you know what tasks you can pass off to team members. So those really marry nicely together, but also remembering that you can delegate. Because I believe that a lot of us have this limiting belief that, only we can do the things in our business, and it is just really extremely far from the truth. So make sure that you start to think about delegating and start to really think about the things that maybe aren't the best use of your time. Now, back to this whole time piece is my next tip, which is all about calendar. I have made a video all about time blocking in your calendar, and I really want to reinforce and stress that planning your calendar, whether you plan your blocks out in advance and you block out different times for working on different client work, for your own business development, for personal stuff, when you can really block your calendar out in a way that makes you feel calm, cool, and collected, and you can see how you're going to get everything done, you're going to be more productive because you're going to stick to it. So planning for being productive at the beginning of your week, or just ultimately, like I actually have, you'll see in my time blocking video, I actually have these blocked in advance. My week doesn't really change. Mondays and Tuesdays, I do client meetings. In the mornings, I have my internal team meetings pretty much every day. Then I have time block here and there for family and other projects that I'm working on, or collaborations, which we often do inside of our programs with our students. The next big piece for me when it comes to being able to properly delegate is about creating your standard operating procedures. Now, like the other tips in this video, I have 100 million videos on SOPs. I am a big believer in the power of standard operating procedures. Once you recognize something on your plate that is recurring, that can be systematized and put into a standard operating procedure, it allows you to not only be able to delegate it, which, as you know, is another one of our productivity tips, but it actually allows you to button up that procedure so that you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Here's an example. Let's say you're onboarding a client, and every time you onboard a client, there are certain things that you do and certain things that you don't do, and there are certain things that you reinvent every time you onboard that client. When you can really button up a system and have the process laid out and all the pieces laid out, and hopefully take that one step further and automate them, which is my next tip, you're going to be in a place where you can easily delegate, but also you're not wasting time redoing things over and over and over again. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We want to be more productive. So I started to touch on automation, but this actually is my next big juicy tip for you. And automation is actually your friend. So you can automate a lot of things in your service-based business, such as your calendar scheduling, using a tool like Calendly or Acuity. You can automate how your clients will set up meetings with you and what the follow-up looks like. So the reminder emails and, putting that right into your Google Calendar or whatever you're using things like simple automations for your contracts, sending out contracts, making sure that they get signed using something like Dubsado or Honeybook. All of these tools are things that really are going to enhance the ability for you to automate so that ultimately you are taking more things off of your plate, especially those really annoying recurring things. So much like with creating standard operating procedures and being able to delegate to team members, that's also a form of automation. For you as the business owner, as the service support professional, it's about getting things off your plate. It's about getting as much off your plate so that you can really focus on your business development, getting clients, and building your empire. The next tip is having a project management tool. I don't care what kind of service support professional you are definitely going to want to have a project management tool, because I don't want you sitting up at nighttime thinking, oh, did I do that? Oh, did I get that done? Oh, and oh my God, your brain is exploding and you can't sleep, which is going to ultimately affect your productivity because you have all these juicy things on your mind that are just really kind of knocking you off your feet before you fall asleep. If you have a project management tool where you can dump your ideas into and you can nicely organize your day-to-day operational activities so that if it's about backing up your website, or if it's about following up with client contracts in real time, or if it's about an agenda for a team meeting, it lives somewhere and that's not in your mind. It's not in some random, I'm all about random notes. In my phone, on my computer, I love drafting random notes for things like ideas I have for my YouTube video, but when it comes to like the hardcore things that run my business, they have to be in the project management tool. I don't need to worry that we are overlooking sending out an email or double checking an email that we've sent out out. I just want to know that most of the day-to-day activities, the recurring things, are at least recorded somewhere and attached to an SOP so that I can just take that off my mind and sleep easy knowing that at least that part of my business is as automated and off my plate as possible. The other big piece, and I think this kind of goes without saying, is scheduling content. And this is like another form of automation, you know, when you can get things done in advance and hopefully maybe at some point you have somebody else on your team that is scheduling your content as an online service professional. You're definitely going to want to share content and engage with your community so that you can get more leads and more interest in the kind of service that you're providing. And this is definitely one of the things that we really dive into inside of OBM School and when we're training our online business managers, because social media is your friend. It is an opportunity to really display who you are, to attract your ideal client and share with them all your wisdom and expertise. So social media can be easy, especially when you're using tools to automate your social media. For years, we used something called Social Bee, and there are a lot of tools on the market that allow you to create queues of social media content that can go on repeat. Maybe it's a lead magnet you're sharing. Maybe it's like an intro bio about you. Maybe it's a call to action to sign up for a discovery call to learn more about your services. Whatever that looks like from a content perspective, you don't need to be reinventing the wheel. You know, you can set it out for a quarter to repeat in queues, and then every quarter you can go back or have someone on your team go back and just freshen things up, make sure they're still relevant. So those really work to enhance maybe some of the real-time social media or lives that you are doing. That can be something that really helps make you more productive, because I know with myself and with my clients and with my students, it's really difficult to stay on top of your content game. And I know that when I stop creating my videos on YouTube consistently, I do see a drop in engagement. And so I know hands down that this is one of the things that you want to make sure that you prioritize from a productivity standpoint. Now, my last productivity tip is about spending time with your family. I find that when I start to feel like the least productive, it's when I have really neglected my personal life and maybe I haven't felt like I've spent enough time with my kids, just being honest here. Because as entrepreneurs, we can go down that rabbit hole of spending hours and hours and hours locked in our office. So that is also one of my underhanded productivity tips, is get a lock on your office door so that you can keep the kids out and the husband out or whoever out when you don't want them to come in, but you can also open that door and make time for your kids. The other side of my office behind this wall is the playroom where my kids can play. And although I don't have them playing in there when I have meetings, you know, we've made it a space where everybody can feel comfortable in here when my door is unlocked. But I really make a concerted effort. My husband and I, we make a really big effort to sort of split the child rearing duties and spending time with our kids so that they get like equal doses of mom and dad. And that is as a result of setting that to begin with and staying consistent. So my husband takes the kids on Mondays and Tuesdays, and usually one other day of the week. It can be just, you know, when he has free time. But I know that on Mondays and Tuesdays, he's with the kids after school, after daycare, because those are the days when I work in the evenings, usually on seminars and stuff that we're doing in the community and presentations that I'm working on and live stuff. And the other days of the week, I'm with the kids in the afternoon, except for the weekend, I'm with the kids. The weekend, we're all together. But the rest of the week, I'm with the kids, making sure that I give them a dose of mummy time. So then I feel less guilty. And when I feel less guilty, I am more productive. I hope that you enjoyed my video today, all about productivity hacks. I'm gonna leave all of the links in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, click subscribe and hit the bell to be notified, because every week I am talking all about the hacks for service support professionals so that you can be more productive and just have like a better work-life balance. I'll see you in the next video.